Hello children, today we are going to discuss about a very interesting chapter of your English grammar book, and that is why I welcome to you all to my YouTube live class. Okay dear children, and today before going to discuss about types of sentences, you might have known or what do you do when you write a paragraph or when you write an application, and what do you do when you write an essay? Very good. You write a number of sentences or you write many kinds of sentences. So today we are going to discuss about the types of sentences. Okay? And before going to discuss about the types of sentences, do you know what is a sentence or what do you mean by sentence? You see, a group of words which expresses complete meaning is called a sentence. And another definition is a combination of words making a complete sense is also called a sentence. Or a group of words arranged in a specified order which makes a complete meaning is also called a sentence. If we arrange in a haphazard manner, we cannot say it is a sentence. And how do we make a sentence? If a group of words makes complete meaning, then we can say that it is a sentence. Okay? The sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. That's why we have given some examples. You see some examples. Saroj is a student of class 10th. You see, Saroj, the first letter of the sentence begins with S and it ends with a full stop. And that's why it is a complete sentence. Okay? If we make in a disordered manner, we cannot say it is a sentence. Saroj, a student of class 10th, is it a sentence? No. Saroj is a student of class 10 is the complete sentence. Similarly, some sentences are given here. You see, they are farmers. You see, the sentence also begins with the T is the capital letter and ends with a full stop. And they are farmers is the complete sentence. And then, Rabindranath Tagore was not only a painter but also a poet. And see, it is also a sentence and it also ends with a full stop. My father is poor, yet he is honest. And then, when I was watching TV, my father came. A dog that barks seldom bites. All the sentence you see begins with a capital letter, ends with a full stop. That doesn't mean all the sentence begins with the capital letter and ends with the full stop. The sentence may ends with a question mark, may ends with an exclamation mark. That means these sentences are also the complete sentence. That means punctuation mark means it ends with a full stop or question mark or an exclamation mark. Okay? Next. Next page. Then see, and you see, sentences are of many kinds. You might have known there are many kinds of sentences. But do you know, sentences are of three types according to their structures. According to their structures, sentences are of three kinds. What are they? Number one is simple sentence. And number two is compound sentence. And number three is complex sentence. Okay? And these are the different kinds of sentences according to their structures. First one is simple sentence, second one is compound sentence, and third one is complex sentence. Exactly, simple sentence is sentence that consists of only one clause. And it is consist of only how many clauses? Only one clause. But you see, compound sentence and complex, both the sentences are, that means they consist of two or more clauses. And complex sentence also consist of two or more clauses. Have you understood? And that's why simple sentence is also known as one clause sentence. Okay? So that means we are going to discuss about the simple sentence first. Do you know what do you mean by simple sentence? Very simple. Simple sentence consists of only one clause. But compound and complex sentences consist of two or more clauses. So before going to discuss about different kinds of sentences, or before going to discuss about simple sentence, compound sentence and complex sentence, we are going to discuss about what? A clause. What do you mean by a clause? You see, a clause has structure like a sentence. That means the structure of the clause and the structure of the sentence is similar. There is no difference between the structure of a clause and the structure of a sentence. But it has a subject and a verb in its predicate part. All the clauses does not have a finite verb. It may be a non-finite verb. That means a clause has a subject and a verb in its predicate part. And it may form part of a sentence. And it may form a sentence itself. That means a clause may be a sentence itself. And from the two, you see, from the last two definition you see, it may form part of a sentence, or it may form a sentence itself, or it may be a sentence itself. That means from the last two definition it has been clear that means clauses are of two kinds. What are they? That means number one is main clause. You see, and the second one is subordinate clause. Okay, that means what is main clause? We will see. Next. What is a main clause? You see, main clause, shortly known as MC, that means main clause. And the other names of main clause is what? Principal clause or independent clause. There are the different names of what? Main clause. Okay. So what is main clause? Main clause is a clause that stands by itself. Okay. You see, what is main clause? A clause that stands by itself. That means the clause which may form a sentence itself, we can say that it is a main clause. And you see, main clause is also known as principal clause and independent clause. And what is the other name of the clause? Subordinate clause. What is subordinate clause? Subordinate clause is otherwise known as dependent clause. And it is also known as SC shortly. Main clause is shortly known as MC and subordinate clause is also known as SC. Okay. So what is a main clause? You see, the clause that stands by itself. That means the clause that is not dependent, that is not subordinate to other clause. That clause is called what? A main clause or a principal clause or an independent clause. Or the clause that expresses a complete sense, then we can say that it is a main clause. Now we will give an example. You see, when I was a boy, I used to play cricket. You see, when I was a boy, I used to play cricket. Dear students, you see, it is a sentence. But you see, when I was a boy is not a sentence itself. Do you say why? Because you see, when I was a boy, this part of the sentence does not stand by itself. And this part of the sentence completely depends upon I used to play cricket. That's why I used to play cricket is the main clause. It is the main clause. That means it is the independent clause. Okay? Why? Because it is a sentence itself. And this part of the sentence does not depend upon this part. But this part, when I was a boy, completely depends upon that part. And that's why it is main clause. Then another example is given, you see. The sun is shining brightly and the birds are chirping happily. You see, the sun is shining brightly is also an independent clause. And both the sentences are joined by and the birds are chirping happily is also an independent clause. Okay, both the except and the sun is shining brightly and the birds are chirping happily are independent clauses. That means both are main clauses. Okay, have you understood the definition of a main clause? And have you understood or have you found out a main clause from the sentence? Okay, next. Okay, have you understood how to pick out a main clause from a complex sentence or from what? From a compound sentence? Okay, then we will discuss about the next one. That means what? Subordinate clause. So what is subordinate clause? What is subordinate clause? That means the clause that is dependent, okay, or that is subordinate to a main clause is called what? Subordinate clause. You see, when I was a boy, I used to play cricket. You see, when I was a boy, this part of the sentence depends upon I used to play cricket, and that's why when I was a boy is a subordinate clause, and subordinate clause is also known as SC and main clause is also known as MC. Okay, you see, a clause that does not stand by itself is a subordinate clause, or the clause that is dependent or subordinate to a main clause is also known as what? Subordinate clause. You see some examples. Although he is rich, he is not contented. Which part of the sentence is a subordinate clause? Can you say? Very simple, dear children. Very good. Although he is rich is the subordinate clause. And which part of the sentence is the main clause? Very good. He is not contented. Okay. That means although he is rich is the what? Subordinate clause. Okay. That means although, okay, although he is rich is the subordinate clause. Okay. This part of the sentence is a subordinate clause. Okay. You see next. If I was or I were an elephant, I would live in the forest. Pick out the subordinate clause from the sentence. Very good. If I was or were an elephant is the subordinate clause. Okay. Why? Because if I was or were an elephant depends upon I would live in the forest. That's why I would live in the forest is the main clause. And if I was were an elephant is the subordinate clause. Okay. That means this is the difference between what? A main clause and a subordinate clause. Main clause is such a clause, it is not dependent to other clause. It stands by itself. Whereas subordinate clause, completely it is dependent. and it is subordinate to a main clause, and that is the difference between both the clauses. And main clause is shortly known as MC, and whereas subordinate clause is shortly known as SC. Okay, have you understood? Okay. You see, then we will discuss sample sentence. What do you mean by simple sentence? Who can say? Very good. A sentence that consists of only one clause and that stands by itself is called a simple sentence. Very simple. That means the sentence that consists of a subject and a finite verb is also known as what? Simple sentence. Okay. And simple sentence is also called what? A one clause sentence. Okay, dear children? Very simple. That means simple sentence is very simple. Why? Because it consists of only one clause. And the clause is also the main clause. That means if a sentence is itself if a clause is itself a sentence, then we can say that it is a simple sentence. Okay? And these are the different definition of simple sentence. Okay? You see, a sentence that consists of only one clause that stands by itself is called a simple sentence. And now we will take some examples. You see, Raman is my friend. You see, Raman is the subject. There is a subject. Okay. And you see, is my friend is the predicate. But you see, is the finite verb. And that's why it is a subject and there is a finite verb in this sentence. That's why it is a simple sentence. Okay. Now we will take some more examples. Open the door. You see, here is also a sentence, but it is a different kind of sentence. You see, there is a subject here, but in this sentence there is no subject. The subject is understood here. So, you is the understood subject, but it ends with a full stop, and it is also a simple sentence because there is an understood subject and there is a finite verb. That's why it is a sentence. Have you understood the difference between what? A clause is a sentence? Very good. Sentence is such a thing, it completely stands by itself. It is not dependent to other. And here is one clause and here is also one clause. And both the sentences are simple sentences. We will take more examples. Okay? Okay. Am I a teacher? You see, here is a sentence and there is one subject I and one finite verb and it also begins with capital letter and ends with a what? Question mark, and it is also a simple sentence. Okay? Okay, dear children, have you understood the meanings of simple sentences? Have you understood the different examples of simple sentences? Very simple. Okay? But we are going to discuss about a very interesting things. What is the most interesting things we are going to discuss about? We are going to discuss about the kinds of simple sentences. And simple sentences are of 4 kinds. How many kinds of simple sentences are there? Very simple. And simple sentences are of 4 kinds. What are they? Number 1 is declarative. You see, these are the kinds of simple sentences. Okay. Generally, I have already told you that simple sentences are of 4 kinds. So, what are they? Number 1 is declarative. Number 2 is interrogative. Number 3 is imperative. and number 4 is exclamatory. Okay, you see, these are the different kinds of simple sentences. Very clear. But you see, declarative sentence always begins with a subject and ends with a full stop. Always it begins with a subject and ends with a full stop. As we have already discussed that simple sentence consists of only one clause, and that's why there is one finite verb in this part. That means it begins with a subject and ends with a what? Full stop. Very simple. But you see, interrogative sentence ends with a question mark. If there is a question mark and if there is a one clause, then we can say that it is an interrogative sentence. Okay? And you see, imperative sentence. Imperative sentence does not begins with a subject. It may begins with a verb or request word like kindly, please, and ends with also a full stop. Okay? And then exclamatory sentence. It is very easy to find it out. Why? Because after the end of the exclamatory sentence, there is an exclamation mark. So having seen an exclamation mark, we can find it out that it is an exclamatory sentence. Have you understood the what? The declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, and exclamatory sentence. Okay? Now we will take some examples. Okay? First, we will take the example of what? Declarative sentence. You see, Ramesh is a farmer. Or I invited my friend to attend my birthday. Okay? You see, both the sentences you see begins with a subject, ends with a full stop. You also see this is the subject and there is a one finite verb. But you see in the second sentence, I is the subject and there is a finite verb what? Very good. Which one is the finite verb? Invited. Okay? That's why it is declarative sentences. Then we will discuss about what? Interrogative sentence. Okay? You see, what do you do in the morning? Okay, you see, it is an interrogative sentence. Why? Because the sentence ends with a question mark. Okay? And we will take more examples. Did you help others? Question mark. It is also an interrogative sentence. Okay? Now we will take some more examples from other sentences. Okay? This is C and this is D. Have you written? Have you written the sentences? Then we will go for the examples of imperative sentence. Okay? You see, imperative sentence. Please give me a glass of water. You see, here the imperative sentence ends with a full stop. But here is a request word, please. Or shut the door. March and soldier. Okay, march and soldiers. These are the different imperative sentence. You see, here is a request word, but in the both the sentences there is no request word because it is a command. And shut the door is an order and it is a request. Okay? So these type of sentences are what? These are sentences are called imperatives. Now we will take some more examples of about the four kinds of simple sentence. What it is? Exclamatory sentence. We have already discussed it, that exclamatory sentence ends with an exclamation mark. Very good. So we will discuss right now. What an intelligent teacher he is. You see, and here is an example of an exclamatory sentence, and he is the subject, and there is only one finite verb, and the sentence ends with an exclamation mark. Okay, then we will take more example. How funny the film is. The film is. You see, it is also an other example of what? Exclamatory sentence. Have you written all the sentences? Then we will discuss about the different kinds of simple sentences one by one. First we will discuss the declarative sentence, then interrogative. Okay. And then we will discuss what? Imperative, and finally we will discuss what? Exclamatory sentence. You see, what do you mean by declarative sentence? The sentence that expresses a statement is called a declarative sentence. Very simple. That means if there is only one statement in a sentence, the sentence is what? Declarative. And now we are going to discuss about the patterns of declarative sentences. Okay, the first one we will discuss, subject and verb. Okay, you see, declarative. You see, first pattern is SB. SB means what? Subject and verb. Verb means, that doesn't mean a single verb. Verb means a verb phrase. A verb phrase may consist of a word or it may be a group of words. You see, an example, the birds fly. Okay, you see, this is the subject and this is the verb. Okay, and that's why it is a declarative sentence. Then we will discuss some more sentences. The children, okay, the children are laughing. And here is the subject and here is the verb phrase. So subject and verb. Okay, then we will discuss about what? Number 2, SVC. Subject followed by verb and complement. Here you say, what is complement? Complement is an integral part of the sentence and it helps to complete the sentence. A complement may be an adjective, may be an adverb, may be a noun. You see, Ramesh is a student. Number 2, he is intelligent. He runs fast. You see, here the complement is a noun and it is a complement, but the complement is a noun, but it is an adjective. It is adjective, it is noun, and it is what? Adverb. It has been clear that a complement may be noun, may be an adjective, or may be an adverb. Next. Okay, then we will discuss the third pattern of the sentence. Okay, SBO. That means there is a single what? Object. That means I wrote an essay. See, here is the subject and here is the transitive verb. After transitive verb, by using what or who or whom, we get an object. So an essay is the object here. Okay, that means subject followed by verb and then object. Then SVOO. I told him a story. Here is the subject, one verb, and after using who or whom, we get the object him, and a story is also another object. So there are two objects here. Then we will discuss SBOC. That means we elected him the monitor of the class. Okay, that means it is the subject, then verb, one object, and here is the complement. It is object complement. Okay, if there is a complement used after the object, we can say that it is an object complement. Next. Okay, have you understood the different kinds of declarative sentences? Okay, then we will discuss how we can change. Okay, we have already discussed what is interrogative sentence. Very simple. Interrogative sentence is a sentence that asks question, and the sentence that asks question is called interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentences are of two kinds: yes, no interrogative and WH interrogative. Yes, no interrogative begins with a what? Auxiliary verb and ends with a what? Question mark. Very good. And WH interrogative also begins with a WH word and ends with a question mark. Very simple. Okay. So that means if there is a question mark at the end of the sentence, we can say that it is what? Interrogative sentence. Okay, next. And we have already discussed about imperative sentences. The sentence that expresses an order, an advice, a request, command, prayer, suggestion is also called an imperative sentence. We have already discussed about them. Okay. Next. Exclamatory sentence. The sentence that expresses surprise, sorrow, joy, disapproval is also called an exclamatory sentence. Okay. It is not imperative. Sorry. It is exclamatory. And how to change from the declarative sentence to the exclamatory sentence? When the complement is a noun, the exclamatory sentence begins with what? You see, write the formula. What followed by article, then adjective, then noun, noun followed by subject, then verb, and then other word. And exclamation will be given at the end of the sentence. Kohli is a wonderful player. What a wonderful player Kohli is. Why? Because a very wonderful player is a noun, and that's why it begins with what? What? Mona Lisa is a very intelligent girl. You see, first sentence. What an intelligent girl Mona Lisa is. In this way you can change. Next. And you see, when the complement is an adjective or adverb, the exclamated sentence begins with the how. You see, you write the formula. How followed by either adjective or adverb, then subject, then verb, then other words. You see, Duti Chand runs very fast. Who can change the sentence to exclamatory? Very good. You see, fast is the what? Complement. And complement is an adverb here. So fast we will write how fast Duti Chand runs. My brother is very handsome. How handsome my brother is. So in this way we can change from declarative sentence into exclamatory sentence. Now we will discuss about some questions. Ramesh is a good student. What kind of sentence, simple sentence is it? It is very good, declarative. Write down. Are they playing cricket? Whether it is an exclamatory or interrogative sentence? Good. It is an interrogative sentence because it ends with a question mark. Very good. What a beautiful building it is. What kind of simple sentence is it? Very good, exclamatory. So close the door. Next sentence. What does the imperative sentence express? Very good, order. When do you get off? What kind of interrogative sentence it is? It is a interrogative sentence. Have you written? Next. And change the following sentence into exclamatory sentence. Human Sagar is a very good singer. What a good singer Human Sagar is. Okay. Next, The horse is very wild. Change the sentence into exclamatory. Very simple. Very good. How wild the horse is. Nabin Patnaik is a famous leader. What a famous leader Nabin Patnaik is. The snail moves very slowly. Change it into exclamatory. Very good. How slowly the snail moves. And finally, the final sentence of the day. My mother puts on a very attractive necklace. Good. What an attractive necklace my mother puts on. Thank you, children. Have you understood? And oh, thank you. Bye-bye.